What is up, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed your Thursday so far. This is NYG Jeffy T 85, and I'm here with the Black and Blue Injury Report for September 29th, 2022. Now, the New York Giants continue to get prepared for their game this Sunday against the Chicago Bears. And right now, the injury list, it's actually gotten a little bit better from what it was yesterday during their walkthrough practice. Whereas today, one player that was originally did not practice yesterday, he actually ended up being a limited participant today, although there might be one cornerback on the team that could be missing some time, and possibly, depending on how injured they really are, they could be out and be put on injured reserve going forward. So this is the New York Giants Black and Blue Injury Report so far. And according to The Athletic's Dan Duggan, right now, 6 players did not practice today. I'm just going to get the obvious one out of the way. Sterling Shepard is still listed on the injury report. He was obviously placed on injured reserve yesterday. He's out for the season, so this is probably the only time you're going to see him on the injury report. He's gone for the season, so he's just there as a procedural move. As well as Wan'Dale Robinson and Kadarius Toney. Wan'Dale Robinson still dealing with that knee injury. Kadarius Toney was actually doing sprints in the backfield today, but he still did not practice. He's pretty much on the side the entire time. He did not practice at all today too with that hamstring injury. So maybe you think that he's getting a little bit closer, but right now the Giants are just playing it cautious with it being a short week, that maybe they think it's the best off to leave him off on the side. Just let him see if he can get his legs back under him and maybe hold him out for another week. So that's 3 wide receivers right now. The Giants look like, unless something changes tomorrow, they might be down going into the game on Sunday against the Bears. Leonard Williams was also doing sprints on the sidelines in the back of the practice today, along with Kadarius Toney. He's dealing with that sprained MCL, but that's a pretty good sign that he's already running sprints on the outside during practice, even though he was on the side. So maybe his sprained MCL isn't as severe as the one Kayvon Thibodeau suffered in that preseason game against the Bengals. So maybe they're just trying to hold him out for this week and then possibly get him back for the game against the Green Bay Packers next Sunday in London. So that's really, right now, that's like a couple of positives you could take out of it. Is that Kadarius Toney and Leonard Williams, while they didn't practice today, they were running sprints in the back by the they were running sprints in the back by the back of practice, and they might be a lot closer than people think. And of course, now we're dealing with the couple of cornerbacks that are banged up. Cor'Dale Flott, he's dealing with that calf injury. But I don't know how much. I think he's going to be pretty much out for the next few weeks, because he was actually on a motorized scooter today at practice. So obviously that calf injury must be pretty severe, so that he looks like he's going to probably be having a multi-week absence. And who knows, depending on how he heals, he might actually land himself on injured reserve for the next 4 games. And they might hold him out, at least, depending on how bad that injured calf really is. So that's not a great sign when you hear that he's on a motorized scooter right now. Hopefully it's just a 1-week thing, and he can get back onto the field in the next week or 2 afterwards. And then Nick McCloud has been dealing with that hamstring injury. He's pretty much not done anything much since he injured that hamstring in the first week of practice. So he's just pretty much battling his way back to get on the field, but I don't expect him to make his return. The reserve cornerback, who's just pretty much been a special teamers at best. Now we have some good news. Jihad Ward, who's dealing with a knee injury, he actually got a limited practice today, that's a good sign after he did not practice yesterday, albeit it was a walkthrough. But that might be a good sign that he might be on his way back, and he might be able to play this Sunday. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get in, but that's a positive sign, at least, that he was able to get a limited possession into the game today. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with him going into the game this Sunday against the Bears. But that's a positive, at least. And Aaron Robinson got his second limited practice today for the New York Giants after he's been dealing with the appendix surgery that he had after week 1 against the Titans. So it's looking like that we might be getting Aaron Robinson back into the game. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get because of the fact he's coming off that appendix surgery, but at least as a positive, we're going to be getting our starting cornerback on the outside back for this game against the Chicago Bears. So that's the positives. And special teamers Justin Layne, it seems like he's fully over that concussion issue, which is probably he has to get cleared from the neurologist, independent neurologist, to get completely out of concussion protocol. But it's a very good sign that he practiced in full today. So the Giants might be getting a little bit healthier at the cornerback position right now. So that's a positive, at least. I don't know what's this going to mean for the team going forward, but it looks like that at least the Giants are getting some bodies back, healthy bodies back onto the field, and they're going to have a little bit more reinforcements for when this game comes on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. So that's a positive at least. So I'm just going to go over the Black and Blue injury report one more time. The New York Giants right now, the players that did not practice today are as follows. Cor'Dale Flott dealing with a calf injury. He was on a motorized scooter today at practice. Probably looks like a multi-week injury. Don't expect him back anytime soon. Nick McCloud is dealing with a hamstring injury. He hasn't really done much. He's probably not playing this Sunday against the Bears. Wan'Dale Robinson, he was at least practicing on the side. Didn't do a lot of sprints, probably just moving around, jogging if anything. He's still coming back from that knee injury he suffered in the first half against the Titans. Don't expect him to play unless something changes going into this game. He might return back against the Packers next week in London. Sterling Shepard, procedural. He's on injured reserve. Torn ACL. Don't have to worry about him. He's out for the season. Kadarius Toney was doing sprints in the back along with Leonard Williams. The two of them look like that they're making progress and could make the return next week against the Packers unless they show significant progress in the practice tomorrow as well as Saturday. I don't expect the both of them to play. I think they're being held out right now for the game next week against the Packers in London. So Toney dealing with the hamstring injury, Leonard Williams dealing with the sprained MCL. Both of them were doing sprints in the backfield of the practice today. Think they'll be back next week against the Packers. Aaron Robinson and Jihad Ward were both limited participants today. Aaron Robinson coming back the appendix surgery. He looks like he might be good to go after missing a couple of games this past Thursday. Couple of games after getting injured, after having the appendix surgery against the Titans game. After that, and Jihad Ward dealing with a knee injury, did not practice yesterday. Was a limited participant today. If he's a limited participant tomorrow, expect him to play. Maybe in limited reps now. The linebacker position is a little bit more depth than Justin Layne. He's getting out of concussion protocol. Just has to get cleared from an independent neurologist. He had a full practice today after having a limited session yesterday. Probably expect him to play and help at that special teams as well as reserve cornerback role going forward. So that's the Black and Blue injury report. And I just want to go through another procedural move that happened with the New York Giants earlier today. As the New York Giants, after they released Antonio Williams off the roster, they were able to bring him back to the practice squad today. So he's been brought back to the practice squad for the New York Giants, continuing to add that depth to the running back position. And a corresponding move, the New York Giants have released offensive tackle Roy Mbaeteka off the practice squad right now. Don't know if he's going to be brought back. Don't know if there's another procedural move that has to be made in the next coming days. But right now, Roy Mbaeteka has been released off the New York Giants practice squad. And Antonio Williams, who was released yesterday off the active roster, he has been brought back to the team as of today. So that is just your Giants roster update, as well as the Black and Blue injury report for September 29th, 2022. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, injury, and roster update, as well as chatter surrounding the New York Football Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short that's going to be dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And let me know in the comment section what you think about the injury report that was dropped today about some players that are making some progress that went from not participating to limited participants in practice today, as well as a player going from limited to full, and some guys that right now did not practice but are showing progress right now in terms of their possibility of returning, maybe not this week, but next week in the game against the Packers compared to the game this Sunday against the Bears. And, of course, the roster move that was made today with Antonio Williams being brought back to the New York Giants, except this time he's on the practice squad, and Roy Mbaeteka, the offensive lineman, being released off the practice squad. Don't know if he's going to be making his way back in the future. We'll have to see. But I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Thursday. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the Thursday night football game tonight between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Take it easy and always remember, let's go New York Football Giants. Together blue, everyone.